Hey, it's Jim Peterson of the Minnesota Timberwolves coming at you from LA Live. And you're watching Wolves After Dark. Welcome.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the World Championship.
Edwards. They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, it's on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, baby.
Welcome to Wolves After Dark. Our thumbnail does not look super great right now. And I didn't have time to update it. So people, please don't think that I'm trying. I didn't do this after the Curry injury. Anyways, if you're new here, like the stream. If you're an OG here, you've already liked the stream. Timberwolves lose 99-88 to the Golden State Warriors. A terrible game for the Timberwolves. Just all around pretty bad shooting. There are, the positives that I'm going to try to get out of the way right away is that we played terrible this game. I mean, I think everybody would agree that this was a miserable game other than like a run here or there, like with that one run in the fourth. That was fun. And I actually believed for a second. But that was pretty much it. But, if Draymond's going to go off for however many threes that he had, and you're going to play some of the worst basketball you've ever played, Ant only has a point and a half, and you only lost by 11, that's maybe okay. But also, I don't want to go into this series playing without Steph Curry. I know some people are probably rooting for having an easier time against them without him if he doesn't play in game 2 or beyond. But I don't want that. That's the whole reason I wanted the Warriors in the first place. I wanted to go through the toughest, what I thought was the toughest. So anyways, Timberwolves lose on a weird little diatribe here early. Ashwin, how are you feeling after the game?
Miserable. All my good vibes are just gone, vanished. I need some ice cream. I need like 5 pounds of ice cream stat. And then the aftermath of that would be terrible too. So I just want to eat my feelings as I typically do on my daily basis. But right now, I am just very hungry to just drown myself in food and pass the fuck out. This game was miserable. However, all is not lost. It's a long series. It's a series for a reason.
Yep.
And we have had back-to-back performances where the shot is not there. And we didn't adapt quick enough or see the writing on the wall and switch it up. My thoughts were, I think we got out-coached hard tonight. And it predated the game. Why weren't we ready? Why was Buddy Hield's shorts off or like in a different version of shorts? Like the start of the game really mucked up the flow, but why weren't we in any flow at all? Why wasn't there any sort of like action? It was like, here, Julius Randle, try to get to the line, try to get some action. He played like his role, but like it wasn't effective. We didn't switch it up. We didn't change it going. We put like Mike Conley on Butler, like random things that I just felt like Steve Kerr kept his players fresh in a weird way where he had the turnover of 48 hours to get his team ready. And we were sluggish. We were slow. We were lethargic. We were gassed. We couldn't dunk the ball. Like we didn't get prepared. We weren't prepared for tonight. And that's upsetting, embarrassing, and not good enough. This won't happen again. I feel like a loss sometimes is good. We get to kind of see this, move on, but also experience that hurt because that was embarrassing on a lot of levels. And to the point where, hey, I love that we can get our shots up and make them go in and practice. But like that, maybe that time off provided some rust, and all that rust translated on the court tonight.
Yeah, it's frustrating because to a degree, like you said, the rust, I was expecting rust. I was expecting it to be a little, shots maybe not going in early. That's okay. You're getting into the game shape again. You've been off for almost a week. I get that. But it was kind of the lack of it was like two things. It was the lack of an offensive plan, which of course we've seen at times throughout the season. But Also, I mean, it's just like it seemed like we were surprised by something that Golden State did defensively. Like, I don't know, maybe we weren't expecting Butler to be on Gobert or something.
I wasn't expecting that.
It was just really whatever it was that was throwing them off, threw them off so much that they just couldn't focus. And of course, I mean, Anthony Edwards, um, early game was really bad. Had some good looks, but just nothing was falling, and really nothing's been falling for him for a little while now. I'm trying to pull up his first quarter numbers here. He was 0 for 6 in the first quarter, not good, and then he was 0 for 2 with 1 point in the second quarter. That's just you can't have that first half. If you have a regular, I mean, Anthony Edwards doesn't necessarily always have the best first halves, but they're not usually 1 point. They're usually closer to like 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that, on a bad time. Not that we haven't seen some generational stinkers that are 5 or less, um, but still, I mean, I do appreciate. I'm not trying to stand up for him because I know a lot of people are going to be at his throat for this game. I do appreciate him in the second half driving and getting to the bucket and finishing like well at the bucket. That was really good. Um, but it's just, and it wasn't like he was chucking like a ton of threes like he was in Game 5 where he was 0 of 11 or whatever. This was like a little bit more well-rounded, like shot attempts. It's just it wasn't working, and he seemed super uncomfortable with the defense. Just seems super uncomfortable with regardless of who was on him. He had like a mixture of everybody. Um, and yet again, the zone is throwing us off. I don't know what it is about the zone that we just can't. I mean, we just don't have a zone beater. I guess sometimes Jaden's that person. Randall should be that person. Um, just doesn't make sense to me, and then we just go crazy. Yeah, disappointing night from Golden State's side. Buddy Hield played great. Again, he's still hot from the last game. He had 24 points. Butler had 20 points. Draymond Green had 18 points. Sounds weird to call him Green. 4 of 10 from 3. Wow, he took 10. It felt like he made more than 4, but either way. And then Curry had 13 in just the 12 minutes that he played. So if Curry's back, you're still worried because I mean, obviously, you weren't winning against the Curry version of this team early. And without Curry, they seemed to play even more inspired, and we didn't know what to do.
Yeah, but we're also just missing shots, and we're like sometimes our offense feels our defense, defense feels our offense, and like we're not getting up and down for 50-50 balls. We're not like in the passing lane. So there's a lot of things that we could fix. It like I said, I think there's a lot of keys to this series. One that I was not expecting even ever talk about was effort. You talked about it in our preseason show that we were just so high on. Like we have this care factor, we have this like give a fuck attitude, and it should have been like that. It should have been like, hey, we're not the favorite, we're the underdog. We're coming with a chip on our shoulder, and we're going to hit you hard. You had less than 48 hours of rest. We should have been blitzing them. We should have been hitting every transition. We should have been running down their throats, getting them gas. And of course, they use 12 players, but half of them are useless, And we
Yeah.
could have gotten to the line a ton. And it just turns out to be let's shoot 23s, miss them all, and kind of played down to not down, whoa, but like down to our floor where we're just like not playing
Yeah.
efficient basketball. Hey, let's get to the comments because it's been like 20 minutes or so since we've gone live. And poop.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. C.
Tough game,
Tough
fellas.
game indeed. This feels a lot like the conference finals last year, where just like we came out with no energy. So
Yeah. I mean, that's all we have from the commentary. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Nicole,
good night.
what up? Shout out Nicole. That was embarrassing. It was. I just feel irritated, pissed, that we just didn't come ready. We didn't match their intensity, and they were on tired legs. It's like pretty frustrating. Almost to the point where maybe those 5 days off gave us that kind of lethargic energy, and like the 48 hours gave them a flow or a cadence to keep prepared, keep their mind engaged. And I don't know, it just felt like maybe we read the news, we read the ESPN favorites,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
read who's picking the teams, and like all that like gassing up after a Lakers series for not like borderline embarrassing. And I just wish that we came ready. Like the fact that we lost by 11 and we gave it a nice like fourth quarter hurrah is like an effort. It was fine. It's great and everything. We hold them to under 100 points, but like a loss is a loss. The way we lost is almost even more emphatic and more important than the fact that we lost. And I just, yeah, I mean, Kron said maybe there's nothing to learn from this game, but I think there's like a give a fuck. You're behind. You're no longer the fit. Like maybe this will help us do something.
Well, I think this is, I mean, in a weird way, I do think this is good for us because I think we'll wake up now. And I was talking with Kron in the Discord about this. The reason that I want to play the Warriors is I understand that Houston is an immature team and we probably would have had a better chance to beat Houston. But the reason that I want to play the Warriors is because I want us to grow as a team. And I'm willing to lose to grow as a team. And I also believe that we will learn from this because I think every year in the playoffs, we have learned from something and improved upon that the next year. Perhaps this isn't, maybe the Lakers just made us look really cohesive and great because they were not good. But maybe this isn't the right roster. I don't know. I'm not trying to like go back and forth so much because we have seen this roster play really well together, especially for really like the entire last half of the season. With some games in there that are like this where it looks like we can't do anything. So, I'm not trying to overreact too much from one game. So I think it is possible that we still win this series. And hopefully that losing this first game is that motivation and the wake up call that we need, so that we come into the next game with some kind of game plan. So we'll see. And Butterfly, it looks like, well, I don't know about his health report, but it sounds like somebody else in chat said that Finch is laying in on Ant in the post game right now. So,
oh wow,
I'd be interested to see that.
I'd be very interested in hearing that because I would agree with almost all of it.
Yeah,
like it was really cool to see him hit the layups, but boy, did he miss almost all of them, and he stopped to complain about most of them. Lost in transition. Buddy Hield pops off in the third quarter. Pretty zero kind of Superman, Ant-Man kind of superpower there from him.
And he was getting lost on defense sometimes too, and it's like, man,
oh my gosh,
like he had
there was
some
like a Gary Payton 3 that happened in the corner.
Yes.
And I was like, what?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that was frustrating. Yeah. No. So, yes, bringing that up. So, Love Fadina, thank you for this super chat. Oh, yeah, No is gone. Don't want to see him anymore. And then next comment I saved, Nathan Grella did not practice this week. It looks like he had absolutely no idea where he was supposed to be or who he was guarding all night.
Yeah.
I am very confused. I was so sure. My world is flipped upside down right now because I was so sure coming into this series that Na was going to be like a major factor for us, because especially if they started playing their 12th and 13th man, like I was like, oh, Na's going to be perfect because they have a lot of smaller players that he's going to be way more capable of guarding rather than Rui Hachimura or even like Dory Finney-Smith or Dory Finney-Smith, whatever I'm trying to say. Any of the Lakers players, he's going to be better at guarding them, other than I guess Gabe Vincent. And he was just lost tonight. He was fouling tonight. His shot is still just not there. I figured at least one of those, either defense or offense, would have been good for him this series. And now it's seeming like, I mean, you called for it, and it took the team 18 minutes to respond. But get Terrence Shannon Jr. in there. Like, just put somebody else in that can score, somebody else with some pace, anything. Yeah, just a struggle. I'm really disappointed in Na, and I don't know. Like, I still think that he should have a good series, but if he doesn't, it really is like a problem. And I don't know what you do going forward with him, because if he can't play, if it was just, I mean, he just played so well in the playoffs last year. It's hard for me to believe that this entire playoffs he's not going to be good. So I guess I still have a little bit of faith in Na, but not because of anything I'm seeing on the court or the stat sheet.
Archie Capo.
Yeah, well, that's us, though.
Finch, it starts with Anthony. He calls him Anthony. He struggled early and the light went out. Oop.
Yeah.
Finch, it didn't like us at all. It didn't look like us at all. It didn't feel like us at all. Finch on Ant, you're the leader of the team. You have to come out and set the tone. Well, he set a tone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a baritone. It wasn't a low C flat. I don't know what I don't know why I'm saying any of that. It was awful. And I think
a loser tone.
Especially where the lights were brightest and the lights were shining on him, everyone was talking about Ant as the Kingslayer, as this legend player, and what's next, the face of the NBA. Like, it's a real thing. And you laid a stinker. And there's a human aspect to it all. Maybe he was a little lingering on some pain, but there's other ways to affect the game, and I felt like he just kind of stumbled out on the court.
Or if you're hurt enough, you can do exactly what Curry did and leave the game. Like, you can do that.
Yeah.
If you are injured, don't play.
Yeah, in a weird way, like he's hurting our team by being out there with just giving us hope that he'll be able to do something. But yeah, I mean, he didn't hit. He hit. He got the boards. He got a lot of. He was pretty much playing his role defensively. Wasn't really. But it's just it's remarkable that this is how we're talking about this game. It's okay to lose, right? But it's like how we lost really kind of puts a really sore spot on this whole postseason right now, man. This could have been a really fun first game. I hope I like you. I hope Curry gets better and he's a part of the series, because it would really suck to just play without him. It's like not the same team. But this is not how I wanted to come out. This is not how we wanted to show out. And this is like for the fans, for the people who paid $1,000 for the seats. Like, we just wasted time, man.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm telling you, this feels so reminiscent of the Western Conference Finals last year. However, little glimmer of positivity. I do believe that this team is going to respond this series. I don't think this is going to be like the Mavs series where we just kind of lay over and let it happen. I think we are going to respond. And I think that starts with a win in game 2, as Crone says here. I said in Discord, game 2 is a must win for sure. I mean, you can't lose both home games to start the series, especially if Curry is out the next game and you lose again. That's a problem. So, yes, thank you for the super chat, Crone. Thank you for all.
Keep it civil in chat, by the way. Hope it's all right. Hope you guys are realizing this is a fan community. We're here to cheer each other on as well and support the team. It's not about who's right or wrong. Yeah. To the tier list, it's going to be a short tier list. I think it's going to be a very unfun, unflattering, unsurprising tier list. Usually I like to bring up stats. I like to kind of fake that I know what I'm talking about and look at some sort of hustle analysis of things that, I'm watching and seeing. And it just felt like the first half was turnover prone. We're trying to do too much. Nas in transition throws a pass behind Jaden. Ant tries to throw a pass to Julius. It goes over his head. Conley's fumbling the ball. Gobert just needs to grab the rebound. We're just not playing who we needed to be. We weren't there. I think we were we're drunk. We're on a hangover. And we were just and we have to play a game. And I was it felt like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love that comment from Finch. It set the tone. Ant, set the tone. Go for a dunk. Get this crowd engaged.
Yeah.
They did nothing to make Target Center an impact, affecting the game.
Exactly.
And everything played into the Golden State Warriors' hands.
Yep. I agree.
All right. Terrence Shannon Jr. He got in. He got a charge. Awesome. He had a jump ball. Lost a jump ball. Not so awesome. I'll be I want more of you, bud. I think there was a moment. Finch, L. Massive L for Finch. Is that an L? There's the L. For not considering shifting the dynamics of what's going on. Just we're borderline insane by throwing Conley out there down 23. What the hell is he fucking doing out there? He's not gonna do anything. He's gonna be a pest on defense, but he's not gonna hit a 3 all of a sudden. He didn't do anything tonight. So I love that we went to Terrence Shannon Jr., but for 2 minutes, that's borderline embarrassing. Massive L for Finch. I would say, meh. We care about you, bud, for Terrence Shannon Jr.
Yep. And I agree. We want more of you, bud.
I'm going to lump these two players together because I don't know if their stats, they look different, but they kind of felt the same. Nikhil Alexander Walker and Dante DiVincenzo. They played, a variety. They played one. I don't know why I'm doing this. All right. Na played 14 minutes. Dante played 32 minutes. Dante had 7 points. Na had 0. Na was a dud, an absolute 0 out there. Wancho, Glenn Taylor, disgusting. We need more tears to handle all the crying that I am trying to withhold for where Na belongs on this tier list. I wish he showed up. Like, my God, he saw what's going out there on the start of the game. When he gets checked in, he gets subbed in, it should have been him taking over, doing something stupid. And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Dante, 1 for 7 from 3, 4 turnovers. Pretty silly. I mean, yeah, he was a pest on defense, and he got under like Jimmy Butler's skin a little bit, but like, I don't know, man. We're
That's
down
really the
15,
only
we're
thing
down
I
18. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, I would have liked a little bit more of that fight when the game was like tied or something, just to have some kind of energy or I don't know, some kind of physicality. But yeah, it was a really bad game. I think that this could have been a really good chance for Dante to kind of show that he is capable of taking over the starting point guard role for Conley in this series. And I think he just showed why he might not be able to. So we'll see. But not good.
You're right. That was embarrassing. And like that, even that transition hook shot that like did go in, I don't care. But just like, this guy is nothing. And we're like considering you as a starter for our team, and you get outplayed, outpaced, and like hustled by this guy who has a mustache who's like trying to literally get under your skin. Oh man, it was frustrating to see. We need Na so badly to just show up sometime this postseason.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Dante, where do you want Dante?
Wancho, man. I don't know.
I think Wancho. I think I'm okay with Wancho. It was not good though. Again, this is another case for another tier below Wancho. Nas. Go to Nas.
Yeah, 33 minutes, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 fouls, 4 turnovers, a steal. He hit 3 threes. He hit the most threes on our team. When we hit 5,
that's crazy.
in front of a 19,000, a sellout, right? Like a sellout in Target Center, and we just brick it. I don't know how to grade Nas because what I saw was very frustrating, but also he was maybe one of the bright spots of this team offensively, of course. Yeah. And I think he did more than his stats show on defense, but he also turned it over a bunch. So like, you take the good and the bad, but I don't want the ugly with Nas. I want everything. I want everything that he's so like precious, and he showed burst, but not a sustained effort.
Yeah, I like honestly it was just so nice to see offensive production from him again. I know we had a little bit in like the first game against the Lakers, but really for the past couple of months we've been deprived of some good Nas Reed games. I feel like so to see a good Nas Reed offensive game makes me feel good. Also, he did play some good defense tonight. I thought he played some good defense, but yes, the turnovers, not good. Man, I think I want to go. I'm torn because I really want to go nice, but I'm like in between meh and nice, and I know normally I go up for wins and down for losses. I don't know. I'm fine with them nice. Do you want to do nice or do you want to go lower?
I think meh, we care about you, bud, but he's probably the leader of the pack so far.
I know. Yeah. We'll put him at the top for now. But
I really don't know how to grade this team after a game like a performance like that. And so when we say nice, it's like it feels good. Like we're great. We're rating you positively, right?
Yeah.
So like our assessment from tonight was like nothing really is taking away. We're not taking away much from this game, and that's sad. That's pathetic. That makes zero sense in a 7-game series. Yeah, there's runway, but we just lost a game. We lost a chance at just like crushing this series, and now we have to rebalance our efforts, and now hit the gym in the way that, like, we should have been hitting from the beginning. I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm trying to, like, not be super negative here. It's hard to stay positive. That, by the way, David, thank you for sharing that. That's what, like, the full Finch quote was. You're not going to shoot your way. You still have to carry your energy despite not shooting in. I do feel like sometimes he hits one, and then he's trying to hit the home run. And you got to be in. Like, we were learning something from the last series that doesn't need to hit the home run. He needs to exist and persist and, like, dominate in spurts. And I felt like he didn't have it going early, and he's like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And I want to actually talk about Ant right now. Miserable performance from Ant. I don't care what his stat line shows. It's great. 23 points, 14 rebounds, 3 steals, a block shot. Incredible. 9 for 22, very Wiggins-like. 1 for 5 from 3, and that was his only made shot attempt, really.
Yeah, other than
And
layups.
it was too late. It was so much too late. Getting to the line was great, but it wasn't not enough. And he could have done triple the amount instead of 4 for 5 only. And his first free throw was a miss. That was so embarrassing. Like, he almost had a half without any points.
Yep.
He's the leader. He's our energy. He's our lifeline. And we've now seen like the worst of it. I hope he takes this very, very seriously.
Yeah.
I hope he gets yelled at, not just in front of the cameras, but he gets yelled at by everyone. And then maybe he just bucks the fuck up and he takes us to game 2 and he shuts us all up, because this was awful. I am Guancho Glenn Taylor right now, and I don't know if there's a tier lower that we could even talk about.
I think I'm Glenn Taylor, just because of exactly the reasons that Finch was saying. I mean, like, you have to set the tone. And Ant, way too much. We've known this. And I know that this isn't, like, something that people are going to want to hear right now. But, like, I'm okay going through this little turmoil here. I understand that the thing is that we've known some of these things about Ant. Ant has always based his game and how hard he's going to play off of his first 3 shots. If they are all misses, he is going to be a dud for the entire game. Most likely. He actually, in a couple of Lakers games, did play better in the second half or, like, end of quarters and stuff like that. That was good. But that was surprising because that's not normally what he does. But if he makes his first 2 or 3 shots, you know you're in for a great Ant night. You just know it. Body language-wise, everything, Tonight, he did persevere a little bit in the third and the fourth, but again, that was like we were up by 20 at that time, or we were down by 20 at that time. So the Warriors defense was going to allow some layups and not as many longer, like, threes and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a miserable game. Not to mention, I mean, we're just talking about the play. Ant has asked for this specifically. He has wanted to take on the Warriors. He is taking on the trash talking. He's doing all this. So he's going to have to live with it when he performs like this in a primetime game. You're one of the last 8 teams alive in the playoffs, and you're being touted as the legend killer or whatever, legend slayer. And then you have a 1-point first half in a game where Curry was taken out of the game in the first half. Just really bad. So I hope that this is, even if it's an ugly moment, even if it's, not pretty in the next game, I hope that this is constructive and making it a better future for Ant and for the Timberwolves to have this confrontation right now. It's how you have to treat it like that. You have to hope that that's the case, because otherwise it is just bad. It's all bad. And if you just let that live like that forever, well, then Ant was we could deal with these problems in the future. We all love Ant. I know that Ant is still 23 years old. And, maybe he does have some injuries hampering him, but I don't care about the injury stuff, because if he's hurt enough that it's going to affect his play, he shouldn't be playing. Clearly. I mean, if we're going to get what we got tonight, and all the times that he's been semi-injured, I'm just not going to use that as an excuse. It's okay that he didn't play bad. I mean, it's not okay, but like we can move on from this and he can improve. So yeah, I'm pretty confidently in Glenn Taylor tonight. Dave Valesky.
Hey, Valensky, thank you so much. We don't deserve you. This game was awful. If we have such a height advantage, why are we not going to Rudy more? I like this question.
I do too.
He was 4 for 7 with only 9 points, and if he got the ball more, it could have been a different story. This game had that energy of Game 5 in the Lakers series, where we were having problems scoring, and but also they were doing a pretty good job of kind of pushing Gobert in different spots where he was using like the fingertips to try to grab rebounds instead of his whole body. And I think that he was just not in the right spots, at least on rebounding, at least in like a rebounding rate. But like, yeah, using him, there was a couple of moments where he scored over Draymond early. That was exciting. That I wanted to see a little bit more of that.
Exactly.
But
we were tied at that point. We were tied 16-16, and a lot of our offense was going through Rudy at that time.
Yeah. And I don't quite understand why we went away from it. I did like how we initially subbed Randall out and we put in Nas in, and we didn't take Gobert out because Gobert had it going. And in that very moment, it was like 18 to like 12 or like 20 to 16 or something. That's fine. That's great. Yep. Keep it small. Keep it like low scoring, and like keep it ugly defensively, and that might even tailor us at least in the short run. But then when we like went away from Gobert and when he went to the bench, the second quarter we had problems scoring at all. I wish we did something different. I agree with you, Dave. I think that having Rudy Gobert come back early and like kind of force it would have been at least something, like, because what he does best is get us into the bonus. Like what he does best is like be such a big, tall body that they have to change their defensive lineup considerably. Maybe what happened was the Draymond on Julius was very impactful, and we wanted Julius to kind of get going. And so with Rudy out off the floor, maybe Julius had a different matchup. And I don't know if that was the main reason, but that could have been a reason.
Another reason was that Rudy was playing so far off of Draymond, and Draymond was then just draining threes. So it was like, okay, let's have Naz Reid come in and be a little bit more of like an actual defender on Draymond. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like you could have maybe told Rudy to not be playing drop, and I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. But
I mean, that's crazy, David. 1 3-pointer all in the entire game, and that's Ant, and that's when the game was already out of reach. And it kind of reminds me of like how we're just like not using our strength and not like most of those shots were mostly wide open. Like I don't know, there was maybe 1 or 2 that were hurried. Like it just feels crazy. Julius Randle.
Watch this game. I don't want.
Did you grade Ant?
No, I didn't. But I said it out loud. He's won.
Glenn Taylor, his buttocks. Julius Randle. We're doing an inverse for some reason. 30 minutes, 18 points, 6 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 rebounds. He went to the line 10 times and he hit all 10 free throws. That's cool.
That is.
Was this his worst defensive performance of the game, of his entire like existence as a Timberwolf?
Maybe.
I had a hard time. Well, first of all, Draymond hits 4 threes in the first half. That's fucking stupid. And his switches to Jimmy Butler, he was sagging. He was relaxed. He was not ahead of the play. He was kind of not hurried, and he wasn't desperate at all. I think this was a very subpar, below par, below the par of par.
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5, yeah. And I think the box score kind of lies to me. 4 for 11 is also telling. He didn't do anything offensively except for that first quarter. He got us. He was in a rhythm. We were forcing it. I think for the rest of the game, he felt so checked out, man. He felt like he wasn't part of the roster. He just like was there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a great way of describing one of our key players of our team.
Yeah, this is just an ugly game for him. I mean, as you mentioned, like the free throws, yes, I appreciate the free throws. And it felt like, again, this just seems like it's Finch's go-to is like, and it's like illuminating because we kind of thought that we had a pretty good series against the Lakers. Not that we thought that the Lakers played particularly well, but like we thought that we maybe played pretty decently at times too. because Randall had a pretty good series against them. But so much of our offense is Finch is only comfortable with Randall just posting up and seeing what happens. And it's like that's what happened tonight. And sure, he got to the line a bunch. And he hit some shots early again that felt good, and it felt like he was our only off. Him and Rudy were our only offense early, but it's just not sustainable. It was bad defensively. There were a lot of times, like you said, where he was like on the picks, he was just not getting through them or falling over or whatever. Also, I think I'm remembering now the play that we thought was an Ant closeout to Gary Payton. Maybe there was another one of Ant. There was another one with Julius where he very slowly got out there. It was the very last one that Gary Payton Jr. hit, or Gary Payton the second hit. That was one where Julius was late to rotate. Just not great, but also maybe not the worst. So I don't know where to put him today. I
would put him Wancho. And we're gonna move on.
Cool.
Rudy Gobert, 26 minutes, 9 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocked shots, including 4 offensive rebounds. I didn't think this was a bad game from him. I didn't mind it. I think this is one of our better players from tonight, which is I don't know why we're saying anything positive about it, but we're trying to be stable and even keel here and think positively, because maybe that will translate. But I think Gobert did fine. I think there's a lot of like weird expectations that are anti-Gobert, where we need to go small and because we can because they're going to play him off the court. And I think he played his role. And I think Dave's super chat was on point about like why we couldn't include him more. And then I think his perimeter defense was fine. Like there was only a couple possessions where I think Curry and Draymond were kind of getting him out of his element, and that's when like Draymond hit his threes early. But like Draymond hit 4 threes early and then was a non-factor the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I think also that burst in the fourth quarter also included like 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes without anything from Golden State. And that was a Nas 3, a Nas dunk, a putback from Gobert, right? And I mean, that's because Gobert's on the court. They're not getting anything going. And I think that's a big part of it. I think Butler's box score is 20 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Remarkable, whatever. He had a really hard game. Butler had a really hard game. And usually he wants to get the line. Usually he wants to like bully you down low. He didn't get any of that going tonight. So pretty cool to see. And that's a big part of it was like the Gobert effect. So anyway,
I agree. Yeah,
I think Gobert's man, we care about you, bud. We need you, bud. But he's probably at the top of it.
Maybe would have wanted more of you, bud. So yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Charlie, it would have been so fun to see Jalen Clark out there. I'm also kind of calling for more TSJ, but like at this point, I don't know.
It's just
it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. We have our 8 players, maybe 9 in dire breaking case of emergency situations. That's what we have, and then we're going to stick to it. And I really don't like the stubborn mentality, but whatever. Mike Conley, 0, no impact. Old, dynamic old tier is exactly where it belongs. I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Yeah. Yep. It was nothing. It was so bad.
I agree with you, Tallow. All right, and I think this is maybe not controversial, but just like not necessarily exciting to talk about. But maybe, yeah, Tallow. Can we move old down one more?
Okay.
Let's do it for you, dude.
There we go.
Dystopian Utopia. I'm very worried about how comfortable Kerr was playing 13 deep in lacrosse start.
He was forced to. He was forced to do that because they played 48 hours ago and they were down Steph. So he's just like, hey, I got to play, guys. I got to give some guys a rest. And we just allowed that to happen. We just allowed it to happen. We didn't take advantage of these obvious mismatches. It's just sickening. I want to be done with this game.
Yeah.
I hate this game so much.
I mean, how weird is this? Nas goes for this really incredible play that like takes him out of the next play and a half, We don't call a timeout. We don't sub him out. We just let him like linger with an injury, and that could have been really bad. But like, turns out it was nothing. But
Yeah.
like Finch says, oh, you know what? Like play through it. Like fuck off, dude. Like we have other players on the bench to just like throw them in for a minute or two to get Nas rest and healthy. Because what if he like does something worse?
Yeah.
It was really gross to see. And like, ooh, we're worried about our timeouts. We're worried about challenging shit. We're down 20. Get over that and play more of our rotation. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, losing the way that we did is frustrating. I think there's so many things that we can fix, and a lot of it's just like internal. Each player individually can do more. Each player can kind of like step up to the plate a little bit more. Yes, hovering over Jaden McDaniels. I'm sorry. That was me on a little trip. 38 minutes, 12 points, 4 rebounds. The player of the match, in my
opinion.
Player of the
game. Player of the game.
He gets a he gets a meh.
He gets a
He gets a meh.
Oh man. Ugh. That's rough.
Oh my god, Charlie, what happened to our death lineup? Yeah, it was just ugly. It was an ugly one.
Well,
Forgot to put on their
got
to brush their teeth. Apparently this is how you brush your teeth.
Oh nice. Where does Finch go? Glenn Taylor?
It's fucking below the tier list.
Below the tier list. Let's see. Add row below. What do we call it?
Just miserable, man. Game 2. Cameron, what do we got to do? Butterfly says, I didn't expect Wolves in 4. All right.
Let's
breathe.
Yeah.
Let's breathe.
Yeah.
Butterfly is good at this. Let's just like breathe. It wasn't going to be a 4-game sweep. It might not be a 5-game series. It's a series. It's a long runway. There's a lot that can happen in this series. We're going to bounce back. Ant's going to do something different. He can't basically be an ofer again, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we said this after game 5, but
yeah.
Let's pretend that I didn't say that. And now I'm speaking truths. So now, Cameron, adjustments for game 2.
Honestly, just play with energy, and tonight and tomorrow hit the gym, get some shots up, and you might have a chance. Realistically, I know we're being really down right now, and I know the fan base is at an all-time low. Maybe not all-time low, but for this season at least, definitely the lowest that I think we've been. But realistically, like we said in that first half, I mean, we just missed so many shots in the first half. And if you can just make a few more shots, realistically, if you make a few more shots, this is like that run that we had in the fourth quarter. Instead of it just being like a little splash in the pan or whatever the saying is, a flash in the pan, it could have been something significant where we actually like take a lead and then we have all this momentum. It was legit. It felt like if we just had one more stop and one more bucket, that felt like that could have broken the dam and been like, hey, we're here. And if you make even just a couple more shots in that first half, I mean, guys, we scored 31 in the first half. Like it was like the franchise low, like ever or something like that for like points in the first half. Or maybe it was like the Warriors and hadn't kept the team to that low. I don't remember.
Whatever.
Either way,
incredible
record low first half. And the second half, well, we won the second half, right? We had to have. Yeah, we won the second half. We really won the first quarter, which is hard to believe. But then we lost that second quarter. It was 26-11. If we win tomorrow, it's the same thing that I was kind of saying about the Lakers series. You don't want to allow the Lakers to win game 4, because if they win game 4, then they have momentum going back home and they can flip it right back. Now, for us, it's almost the opposite, because if we win game 2, then we go on the road. But we all know we're a better road team than we are a home team. And if we can take advantage of that and then flip it on them to have all the pressure on them for game 4, then we're right back in this. So I expect a response. even if that's just making a couple more buckets and just having a better just what's the word I'm looking for? Body language. And
Agreed.
like all the regular basic things. Shots are going to go in sometimes. Shots are not going to go in sometimes. This is the thing that this is what makes me a little angry about how Ant performed tonight is that it's like Ant is the one preaching to all his teammates, hey, keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting. If you're open, take the shot. He says that to Dante. He says that to Nas, everybody. In the post game, he's talking to Randall and he's like, Randall, he needs to take more shots. Like, he's the one pumping up everybody else. And then he has a game where he's not shooting well and he just like gives up. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So we're gonna have a better effort the next game. I don't care. Honestly, it's almost like it doesn't matter who's playing against us. Like if Curry's in the next game and he's totally fine or something like that, versus if he's not. It really all comes down to how much we're willing to commit to playing with energy and effort. So yeah. Cool.
Well, my camera has
I was
decided
just
to
gonna
do what
say,
it did.
perfect timing.
And do something different.
I don't think that's gonna work. But whoa, it's weird to see me this big. Am I on people's TVs right now? Hello, dogs and cats of your living rooms. Should I start making noises to get dogs' attentions and stuff? Anyways, every other stream is calling Finch out. Yeah, it is. Hey, you're back. Yeah, but yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this game. It was just so gross. I swear the Minnesota media never holds this guy accountable. Yeah, I mean it's tricky. I don't. The thing is that, and I know you're not talking about us because I know that although people in our series preview seem to really think that we are have credentials or something, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are getting your credentials removed." One comment said, which I thought was hilarious.
Dude, I want credentials to be.
I was like, sure, yeah, that's awesome. But I do kind of like the coaching thing is a little weird because I think that there's some valid questions that you can have, but also some things it just, it clearly Finch plays these politics like internally with players, and he's had to do that with people that were upset. Like I'm assuming here, Dante and Nas, who wanted to be starters and aren't on this team, and were Dante was traded here. It wasn't his choice to be here, and then he had to go from being like a star for New York in the playoffs to then being like the seventh man for us. So just kind of a weird thing for him. So he's managing all those politics. And I think that that's the reason behind a lot of the weird lineups that we see and lack of minutes for other players like rookies and things like that. But I think that there's some valid questions that just don't get asked, but it also is just difficult to ask about coaching things that kind of just comes down to wins and losses and overall team vibe. And, we've had enough wins to have good vibes for a lot of the season. So it's, when you're like, we've won like 31 or we've won like 25 of 32 games or something with Julius since he came back, even still.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's like, how do you, as the media, how do you be critical when it's like, well, we just won 25 of our last 32 games or something like that. So, but
ish. I just don't get good vibes from what Fitch said in that post-game interview, especially since everyone played bad and he did not coach well. I couldn't agree more. This is maybe the comment. I don't know, the comment of the night. Why call out Ant? It's cool to like try to make a statement, but then you're such at fault too. Like you are such the problem here too. Like you can't call anyone out. You can't single anyone out when it starts with you too. Like the team wasn't ready. Why weren't they ready? Why weren't they making shots? Why weren't there play calls? Why is Gobert not getting played more? Like why is Julius Randle the point of attack when he's lousy right now in transition? And why were we letting Draymond Green hit more than a couple threes wide open? Like pretty crazy stuff. Why did TSJ and Rob not why is Rob in street clothes? Like that's pretty crazy. Like a lot of things
injured.
I'm just questioning. And then why is it like, oh, but Ant needs to set the tone? I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why say it? Like, why state that? It's pretty crazy.
It is weird. And it seems like that's a conversation that does happen regularly internally. Like there are things that Chris Finch has said to Ant internally a million times, and Ant has even said it himself in post-game interviews in the past where he's like, "Oh no, Finch is always on me, and nobody was spared, especially not me in these like meetings or whatever." So it is interesting to have him call him out in this stage. What to me it screams that Finch is like worried, and he doesn't know how else to like get this team to go to the next step without Anthony Edwards taking a step. But that I
might
mean
be
that's
so.
maybe that's a weakness of him showing right there,
know, like,
maybe not a weakness, but like he's purposely trying to do this, but maybe he's like just doing this to hang on for dear life. I don't know.
Maybe this is a form of coaching, being really loud and flagrantly like loud about it, where he's calling out some player because of their preparation and maybe their homework and all that, and didn't come ready. And he's usually one to say, "Hey, like I think he's even been quoted saying like, hey, if you're not like ready, like why are you here? You know, like you like I don't need to say anything to inspire you. You need to be inspired yourself." Like that's cool. That's a great like hands-off approach, but sometimes people need coaching to be hard and emphatic and impactful to get you hype and or ready for the next play, because then you're just like doing him a disservice by like, hey, they don't see something, they're not recognizing something, and they're not attacking certain matchups because you're not telling them to, you know, you're not even letting them say, hey, I'm allowed to make mistakes, because you're not helping them correct them, you know. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not trying to like badger Finch here. I just think Ish is correct, like, and Butterfly is correct, and a lot of people who have been mentioning that in chat are correct. Like, what a weird time and statement to say, and that's gonna be the headline for all of Minnesota like timelines between now and tomorrow. It is technically tomorrow, I guess, when we play them again. But yeah, I think long series.
Yep.
Now we need you, Bud. Randall can't be a dud on defense. Ant, you need to be the superstar, man.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of silly. And
Whether-
we're not expecting go ahead.
Whether what Finch said was right or wrong, whether the timing was right or wrong, whether he should have said it out loud at a press conference after game one, the timing, all the things, was right or wrong, it was accurate. He needs to be the leader. He needs to be the leader and step up for this team, and not have a game like this in the playoffs. You have to. He has to be better. Yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to it. If Ant plays a little smidge better in the first half of this game, we're tied or winning this game. So
Steve mentioned in chat, or like asked in chat, what's the status on Stephen Curry? I think he's going through an MRI tomorrow, and status is unclear.
The fact that he was out
reporting the news.
Yeah, really. The fact that he was ruled out so quickly tonight makes me feel like there's like no, and also the way it looked makes me feel like there's no chance he plays in game 2. I feel like they need to just take it. One, they beat us, without him. So I think they're already playing with house money. You don't want to take any chances here. Just get him healthy, have him come back for game 3 or even maybe 4, since we play every other day. Or maybe 5. I don't know. Like it's probably going to be a while. Hamstrings are no joke. And for somebody that runs around the court so much, this isn't like somebody who sits in the corner and just waits for the ball to come to them. Like this is somebody that's constantly moving. That's a problem if he's got a real hamstring injury. So we'll see. I'm equally as nervous if he plays versus if he doesn't, because it's all going to come down to our effort and our leaders' effort, and our coaching. So yeah, next game. Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Only game of the day. So all eyes, basketball-wise, will be on us. How about that? Yes. Well, if you were looking to get tickets, I don't think we got to 100 likes on the stream. We did not get to 100 likes on the stream. However, there is a lot of tickets going for resale right now that are a lot cheaper than they were just a couple hours ago. Quite a few tickets available. So keep an eye out for that, especially tonight into tomorrow. I think Wednesday night, the hype could maybe pick up again. So be careful about that. But if you're looking for cheaper tickets than Steve paid, then fantastic. Rest in peace, Steve. I'm so sorry. Crone with the 20, what is this called? Super chat. I've never
Whoa,
seen this color
Crone.
before. That's my favorite thing about the super chats is the different colors that show up.
Crone.
Crone, here's the thing about Steph and his injury, especially given his age. If it really is a strain, then he's at risk of tearing his Achilles if he pushes too hard. Exactly. I mean, that's what the problem is with all these like lower body injuries.
Whoa.
If his
Good
Achilles goes,
point.
his career could be finished. So exactly. This is not like I haven't looked at Twitter since the end of the game. So I don't know what the talk is right now. But that's why I'm like, there's a real chance that they rest him for a considerable amount of time because they need to make sure that he is 100%. Like if he just pulled his hamstring tonight, I mean, even a pull, even a pull or a strain or whatever, it's not good. Also, I mean, Towns did that, like strained or whatever his calf muscle or whatever. The cat mentioned, god dang it, and that was like he was out for 4 months or whatever. But yeah, at his age, they're going to be careful. They're going to have to be careful. So we'll see. Yeah, but thank you for the super chat as always, Crone. We don't deserve it. We never do. But also, this is going into giveaways. Going into giveaways. Yeah, that's true. And that's the other thing. That's the thing that sucks so much about the playoffs. This is kind of an off-topic thing. All these injuries, I mean, not that there's been a ton, but like any injuries that happen here in the playoffs or late season are just so bad. So bad.
Yeah.
Because like think of the Kyrie injury. Like I was even though I think that trade, the Luka trade was terrible. I was really excited to see what the Mavs could actually do because honestly, their team as currently constructed, if everybody's healthy, I'm like, I feel like that they had a good chance to go deep in the playoffs this year. But he's going to be out until like January at the earliest next year. So that's, there's just any of these injuries that happen right now are just so bad. So
damning. Yeah.
especially for
Sam,
somebody that late in
I
their
didn't think
career.
about this. Go ahead.
I know. I was just like, especially for him being so late in his career, just not good.
The way we play tonight, they can afford to rest Curry for the game and see how it goes. So hey, if we bounce back and win game 2, they might not even play Curry, and then that's their like gimme game. Like they're punting game 5 in the Houston series to kind of recover and play game 6 to the level of.
Yep.
That's good on Golden State to rest him, making sure that he's potentially available for Saturday. I don't know, man. These every other days is also kind of painful because it's like that's not even like an amount of time that's like healthy for players to recover, I feel.
Yeah, no. Yeah. The every other day thing is super annoying. I get it because they want to have content all the time, but also I just feel like once we get later into the playoffs, we should really emphasize like weekends and the like kind of more impactful days. Like, I mean, football is always on the weekends, and it's like, having some Friday, Saturday, Sunday games, I think makes sense. Maybe even Mondays, but it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe should just be like, let's just call it off. I don't know. For just thinking from like a business perspective, but that's a totally different conversation. Yeah. Well, Thursday night, next game, chance to bounce back. You have to bounce back. I will say, I mean, although I still was very confident coming into the series. It's hard to really wrap my head around it right now because we just saw such a kind of a bad game for me to give a real opinion. But like coming into this game, I still was pretty optimistic about this series. I was very optimistic about the series. I even said that there was a possibility I thought we could maybe sweep them. And obviously that's not happening anymore. I said Wolves in 6 was my official prediction. So you got to lose at least one game. You got to lose 2 games to have Wolves in 6. So we just spent one of our losses early.
There it is.
We just needed a little bit more rest. We needed the week off. I just took a week off of work, and I feel like I need another day. So maybe that's what they. I
need some time off too from all the things I'm not doing.
Yeah.
Wolves lose 99-88. We need more from you all, bud. And thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. We love you all. Times are rough out there, and basketball is a cure. And when it doesn't go well, it's like, well, man, everything shit hits the bed, right? So the support, the community is everything. Let's get back. Let's respond for game 2.
Yep. Time to respond. All right. If you haven't already liked the stream, still 12 more wins, or no. Yeah, 12 more wins. We can do it.
Let's do it right now. Golden State Warriors defense, 1.5 thumbs up. Let's go.
Yeah.
There we did it.
It was good.
Sorry, David. Yeah, I mean, it's hard sometimes to like talk about another team. Like we just got our butts kicked and talk objectively. Honestly, I'm such a man of the moment or a boy of the period. I don't know what. I just respond. I don't know what that was. I respond to what I see, and sometimes I don't have like an objective, like real look at it, and so I need to improve on that too.
Well, the thing for us, not to give us too much credit, but I mean, we do this right after the games, so we have zero time to digest it. Everybody else on Earth that does a podcast about their team waits like at least
know what that was Butterfly.
Like 12 hours. So yeah. Also, here's the thing, David. This is kind of what I said earlier. If Draymond doesn't hit 4 threes and he hits 1 like he should, this is almost a tie game. You know, it's crazy. So
13 more threes. Is that correct? Did I just do the math? That's 39 extra points. You know?
Yep.
That's insane.
And that's without Steph Curry. Yikes.
Cool. That's us not hitting any threes.
Yeah, for real. Well, that's it for us.
Let's get out of here before I say anything more.
Minnesota goodbyes. I'm terrible at it. Ashton had a pretty good outro, and then I ruined it again. 12 more wins. Possible giveaway in the next stream. I think I'm pretty free for every next game, so I think tonight was supposed to be my night that I was not good, but I was good, so we're good. Intro as the outro. We will see you guys Thursday night after a massive Timberwolves win. Peace.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the world championship.